Welcome to the first stage talk on the last day of Hyderabad Literary Festival. I sincerely hope all of you have been attending several programs and thoroughly enjoyed the festival. Firefly Women is a physical theatre piece based on letters written from jail by 3 young women incarcerated under a draconian law, and Ruqayya Shekhawat Hussein's story, Sultana's Dream. In their letters to their friends and comrades, these women write about their memories of cold winter nights at protest sites, learning lessons on resilience from their fellow inmates, the numbing monotony of prison life, and radical hope. The piece also contains excerpts from Begum Ruqayya's Sultana Dream, which was written in 1905, a seminal work of feminist speculative fiction. The theatre piece is in both English and Hindi, and you shall be watching a 30-minute excerpt of the show followed by an interactive and Q&A. The piece contains elements of audience interaction which we sincerely hope that you will indulge in. Please welcome the artists Manjari Kaul, Deepika Chauhan, supported by Kiran Yu.
Dear sisters, it is close to midnight. G is reading namaz and in a barrack TV somewhere. The song is playing while I write to you wrapped up under many blankets. It's one of Elle's favorites, but for me it is only after the incarceration and the uncertainty of the future that I have come to realize the meaning of this song. शायद फिर से जन्म में मुलाकात हो न हो, I'm sorry, I did not intend to begin so morbidly. You know, in one of the books I was reading, there was this petition by indentured Indian laborers of Bar district in Fiji to the colonial secretary in 1914. The workers had wanted a Hindustani to be appointed at the post office, somebody who could write correct addresses on their postcards. How letters have mattered so much throughout the history. Love and rage. During our e-mulaqats, Dean always has some matter-of-fact advice to give, which initially strikes me as scary, even a little blunt, but eventually starts to make sense. In our most recent conversation, she told me I should start inhabiting this place as home, thinking of it as Khor. Most daunting task, but useful advice with regard to giving up on the endless sense of waiting. That our first physical mulaqats were not disorienting. The glass window separating us from our friend on the other side, registering its presence, but not jarring. I guess is the extent to which we have internalized inhabiting this space. Please keep writing your letters of love. They bring us so much joy. Every time we receive one of them, everybody can tell by the spring in our steps. It's a little heartbreaking to know how lonely and isolated everyone is feeling. Why don't you write letters to each other as well? Would you like to keep this rhythm with us? And when we do this action, it means stop. But after then, please carry on. Please keep the rhythm for us. पर आसमान में इतने सारे रंग कैसे हो सकते हैं? Broken piece of red. Scared to hope. Evening light. Soft and teasing. पर आसमान में इतने सारे रंग. इतने सारे रंग. Broken piece of red. In my last letter, almost like eternity. Evening light. Soft and teasing. A most extraordinary thing happened in jail yesterday evening. So in my last letter, I told you about how with the children we wondered about rainbows and fireflies. I had tried to explain to them. 302 kids who did not really speak our language, 1 2 years old who spoke a little, and 4-year-old girls who spoke a lot. What a rainbow looks like, and what its colors are. We only had one broken piece of red crayon with us. So, we tore up pieces of old newspapers and made a rainbow collage. The children were most delighted and curious, but also confused. पर आसमान में इतने सारे रंग कैसे हो सकते हैं? The eldest one kept asking. It was that time in the evening before sunset when sparkling particles danced before our vision. Remember discovering them one evening? The sky was evening light, it was soft and pleasing. There was the sky was unusually blue and clear. There was the sun peeking in and out from behind the clouds. There was a moment of anticipation and a moment of anticipation. I felt scared to go. The eldest one screamed, "Auntie, dekho! Rainbow!" Yes, they call us aunt. I guess we are now at least half a decade older than most of them others. Everybody keeps pointing out to me how I've grown too many grey hair and how I must color them. Braiding intricately, combing, coloring hair, these are all communal activities in a women's chair. So yeah, an actual rainbow in the sky, a magnificent fragment of the arch revealing itself in front of our Lord. The children were most delighted. Each of them wanted to be lifted up to have a better view. And women, they kept calling each other outside to come and be witness. "Arey bahar aa, dekho to! Jaldi aao! Arey upar! Arey chala jayega, aao!" A Brazilian boy screamed, "Hallelujah!" His first words. Some began to fervently pray, raised their hands and heads, shaking. Some cried, some stood and stared, and some screamed duas and yelled to the gods and cursed. Some kept looking up to see if all 7 colors were there. Are they all there? Actually there? Such a rainbow. Really? Some intertwined their hands with another and made a wish. Silhouettes of flocks of birds. A first rainbow for many. कभी सोचा नहीं था कि जेल में आके पहली बार देखूंगी. Of course, the first for all the children. ये भी हमारी आजादी का टिकट है. हमारी लगन. चलो चलिए और ढूंढे इसका अंत कहाँ से शुरू होता है. There was hope. So much hope. Impossible, cacophonous hope. Everything suspended for a moment. It was time to be locked up inside. Almost knowing it, the rainbow faded away. The children became anxious. आंटी को कहा गया? वो क्यों चला गया? कल आएगा क्या? हमेशा क्यों नहीं रहता? वो क्यों आता है? How does the rainbow come and go? Do you remember? Today evening, all the children sat expectantly staring into the sky in the park outside. वो आज आएगा क्या? क्या तुम्हें पता है? तुम्हारे और हमारे इंतजार का फर्क है महज वक्ते मुहैया. फकत चंद रोज और. ये जानते थे तुम दस्ते सबा की तरह. बेज़बान अब्र नहीं बताता कुछ जब मैं उससे पूछती हूँ. ऐसे कितने मौसम और. जाने कितने मौसम और. उम्मीद और दिलासा दोनों ही यहाँ बेशकीमती हैं। औरतें उन्हें अपने शरीर से कस के पकड़ के रखती हैं, अपने बालों में गूंथ लेती हैं, उन ताकतों से छुपा के रखती हैं जो उन्हें उनसे छीनने पर तुलती हैं। पर आपस में वो इसे दरियादिली से बांटती हैं, एक दूसरे को थामे रहती हैं, एक दूसरे के आंसू पोंछती हैं, कहानियां बताती हैं। हर दिन कोई इनसे सीख सकता है कि कैसे शान से जिंदा रहना है, कैसे खुद को और एक दूसरे को टूटने नहीं देना है, चाहे कुछ दिन आप टूटा हुआ क्यों ना महसूस करें। कैसे खुद को और एक दूसरे को बांधे रहना है और अगले दिन के लिए ताकत हासिल करनी है। इन दीवारों और तारों के बीच कितनी ही कहानियां छिपी हुई हैं।
सुबह बनकर फूटने को तैयार चुप्पियां हैं, दिल में गुस्सा उबाला जा रहा है।
In this process, one ends up traversing so many dreams, so many desires,
जवाब दिया, तुम कैसी हो?
शुक्रिया, मैं तो बिल्कुल ठीक हूँ, लेकिन अब तो बाहर आके हमारे बाग पर नजर डालोगी क्या?
मैंने खुली खिड़की से चांद को निहारा और सोचा कि इस वक्त बाहर जाने में कोई हर्ज नहीं। शहर के सभी लोग, सभी मर्द गहरी नींद में थे और मैं और सिस्टर सारा एक खुशगवार सैर के लिए निकल सकते थे। सैर करते वक्त मुझे बड़ा ताज्जुब हुआ। मैंने देखा कि ये तो
after day after day. During these days, one of the things that gave me the most hope is singing songs of resistance to myself. The unfinished broken lines that I could remember through the long days and nights, singing them quiveringly, confidently, a bit too loud for the silent night. Bringing strength, giving power, reassuring. So many memories flashing through. Every word full of so much meaning, so much history. Nidar आजाद हो जाएगी, उदया ज़माना लाए. तोड़ तोड़ के बंधनों को देखो बहने आती है, वो देखो लोगों देखो बहने आती है, आएंगी जुल्म मिटाएंगी, वो तो नया ज़माना लाएंगी, वो तो नया ज़माना लाएंगी. मौताजी और डर को मिलके पीछे छोड़ेंगी, मौताजी और डर को मिलके पीछे छोड़ेंगी. हाँ मेरी बहनें अब डर को पीछे छोड़ेंगी, हाँ मेरी बहनें अब डर को पीछे छोड़ेंगी. ये डर आजाद हो जाएगी, वो ना सिसक के रोएगी, वो ना सिसक के रोएगी. तोड़ तोड़ के बंधनों को Devangana, Kavita, Natasha, Talwar, and Gulfisha Fatima are student leaders. While Natasha and Devangana were jailed for over a year under criminal charges in connection with protests against the Citizenship Act (CAA), Gulfisha continues to be in jail for nearly 5 years now. They were accused alongside several other activists of offences under the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act (UAPA), a draconian legislation that is often used by the state against its dissidents. During their incarceration, Natasha, Devangana, and Gulfisha wrote numerous letters to their comrades describing their struggles, anxieties, what gave them strength, hope, and their dreams of feminist futures. Others were accused in the same FIR as Natasha and Devangana. Some have reported custodial torture, solitary confinement, and other forms of abuse and violence. Of the 18 incarcerated, only 6 have been released on bail after having to endure varying durations of time spent inside prison. We must say their names. Miran Haider, Asif Iqbal Tanha, Shifa ur Rahman, Umar Khalid, Sharjeel Imam, Ishrat Jahan, Tahir Hussain, Gulfisha Fatima, Khalid Saifi, Safura Zardar, Faizan Khan, Taslim Ahmad, Salim Malik, Salim Khan, Athar Khan, Shadab Ahmad.
Anjali Kaur, Deepika Chauhan and Kiran Yu. Another round of applause. Right from the start of the first song, through the entire presentation, including these fantastic, light, your mobile phones, and the images on the screen, everything was just so beautiful, so actually I have a lump in my throat. Quite moving and
Thank you so much. This show, of course, we say it again and again, but because some people joined us towards the end, is entirely based on letters written by Natasha Nawal, Gulfisha Fatima, and Devangana Pulita, out of which Natasha and Devangana spent more than a year in jail under false charges, and they were charged under this law called UAPA. This is an excerpt of the show. There is there's a larger version of the show, as well as the fact that Gulfisha Fatima continues to be in jail, like we said, for more than 5 years. These letters are all out, not all out, but some of them, quite a few of them, are in public domain. Caravan published them, I think, in 2020 first, and since then they've also published some of Gulfisha's poems. She's a proficient poet. A lot of it is out for us to read. I urge us to go back and read these letters. Simply if you type their names, it will come up for them. This show is for them and the several others who we also don't even know names of, as well as all other minority communities, whether it is Dalit communities or people who are voicing dissent of any kind, journalists, people who are working for against big corporations, who are resisting climate change, or all of not resisting climate change, but you know what I mean.
industrialization as well, land grab.
So yeah, if this law is used against that, the show is partly to bring awareness to what the legal system in the country is like, but also what life in jail is like, the Indian penal system, who it penalizes, and how difficult it is to get justice, and who are at the sort of lowest rung of deserving this justice. Through the show, we also brought in a story by Ruqayya Sakhawat Hussain, who wrote this in 1905. It's commendable. She's a first-time English learner. In her family, she was also a social reformer, a writer, an educator, and this story still is a seminal work of speculative fiction, but she imagines a world where the gender binary is flipped. Of course, we can problematize it in our current context of saying, oh, the binaries do not exist unless you are Donald Trump. But part of this is also an excerpt of the show. We also have sort of elements in the show wherein we do a little interaction, and we have these postcards. If you can pass them
Anushri, could you please pass them on?
for how many ever. There is also pens.
Along with a pen.
We have one tiny prompt wherein if you can name one thing, person, memory, dream, something that gives you hope, that reminds you of hope. It could be a person, it could be a memory, it could be many things, it could be one thing, but we urge you to just write that down in that postcard on the flip side. These postcards are we give you a moment to just maybe think about what that thing is that gives you hope.
Satyam, take a few and circulate at the back.
There's also
very sad, and whatever is happening in our country, that's one part of it. And I am writing about my personal issues that I had been campaigning for the pedestrian safety for about 16 years now. And in Hyderabad, of course. We run a foundation called the Right to Walk, Footpath Lady, and that has been called and all that. But for the past 3-4 years, we have quit the movement, we are stopping the movement, and yet even today, I get up in the morning, say that today will be a better day. So because today, every day, at least one pedestrian is getting killed in our city of Hyderabad. At least one. And at least 5 others are getting injured. That's a terrible statistic that we need to eliminate. So, thank you very much.
In the first kind of bit of the pandemic itself, the Shaheen Bagh movement had to be shut down. That was very close to my heart. We were going there every single day to Shaheen Bagh, and then it was like a ritual of reaffirming hope, of bringing about change, togetherness, solidarity. And as the pandemic struck, the protest sites were completely cleared out in Delhi. I'm from Delhi. And everything was wiped off. Like every, thank you. It felt like the government the regime went overboard in trying to wipe out any like graffiti, which was all of the city had been completely wiped out. And that's when it felt really, really isolating. Of course, it was the isolation of COVID-19 and the lockdown, but it was doubled with just feeling helpless. And around that time, same time, these arrests also started to happen, and instilled fear and all of that, which is when I really started thinking about the idea of radical hope and what it means to hope. And often hope is associated with something hipster and delusional, but without hope, nothing is really possible. Anybody who's worked against a sort of majority community or against anything anti-oppressive, they know that hope is the foundational stone of it. So that's where it came from when I first read these letters, which was in Canada. I found so much hope in them, and which was I was like, okay, this is what my something looks like.
So the question was by Yunus. He is a journalist.
Then through my research, I got to know Natasha, and of course through the court hearings that I go to often, I met Gulfisha and figured that she also writes poetry. So yeah, met them. Unfortunately, Gulfisha is still in jail and has not seen the show. Natasha and Devang.
Now we are running short of time.
Something unusual. This can be attributed to this form of theatre that we do, and we would really like to thank the Literature Festival for having brought us here. Sangeeta for having really carried us through the coordination, and now through this lovely coordination and conversation with us and the audience, and of course all of you who spent time for this. Yeah, I think that's about it.
All stage talks, they end with 2 things. One, a standing applause. Second, a group photo. So can we have a standing applause? And I request everybody to please come for a group
And
photo.
then this